Welcome to a new episode of Pure Podcast. We're going to be talking about Moshiach, a big topic, especially what's going on with Israel right now and Iran and America and all these other countries in the Middle East. Everybody's eyes are on Israel. And everybody is like, is this the time to Moshiach? Is this not? So I feel like there's one problem with Moshiach, and hear me out. A lot of people were really excited for this idea of Moshiach, to have world peace, to have so much tranquility and to be able to see Hashem in such a beautiful, pure way. But we know leading up to it, there's this really scary part of Mashiach where there's war and people die. And it sounds like, if you read it, you're like, oh, this doesn't sound great. The idea of Mashiach sounds great, but leading up to it sounds pretty scary and awful. So it's like, yay, Mashiach's coming, but please don't kill me and keep me safe, right? So we know if you're holy and you do the right things, God always protects you, and he protects the Jewish people, and he protects people who are kind and good human beings. Having said that, it still sounds a little terrifying. So last night, I was thinking about this, and I'm like, you know what? I think I know a way how to be able to experience the times of Mashiach, the times leading up to it. Once Mashiach comes, it's a whole other process. But the era of Mashiach, there's got to be a way. So if you're familiar at all, we are getting close to the era of Shabbat before Mashiach comes. If we're in era of Shabbat and the next era is Mashiach, according to calculations, which, by the way, I learned this, do not calculate when Mashiach is meant to come, because if you do, it actually pushes him off. So don't do that, okay? Just a word for the wise. But if we're approaching Mashiach now and we're getting close to that, that can sound a little terrifying and also exciting at the same time. How can we experience that on a higher, more beautiful level, that there is no fear, there is no death and destruction? How can we experience that? So it really took me back to this concept that you should bring in Shabbat very peacefully. If you bring in Shabbat and you show Hashem bring in Shabbat peacefully, there's so many blessings. There's so many beautiful sources about how it's important to bring Shabbat in peacefully. So I was thinking, that's like Mashiach, right? Like, we can either bring in Mashiach and it can be crazy and chaotic and psychotic, and like Mashiach's there, it's like, oh, finally I can relax. Same way like Shabbat, you're cooking, you're cleaning, it's 5 seconds before you have to light candles, and you're like, oh my God, this is insane. And finally Shabbat comes and you're like, oh my gosh, finally. But you can't even enjoy it really, because you're decompressing and trying to regulate yourself from the Friday chaos. So there is another way. I'm sure everyone has experienced this. So imagine you're invited to your friend's house for Shabbat. You pack your bag and you go to their house, and you get there, like, say 2 hours before Shabbat. There's nothing for you to do at home. You figured, I'm going to come over and help you guys get ready for Shabbat. You get to their house, and your friend is in the kitchen, and she's cooking, and there's pots and there's pans and there's kids and there's toys, and everything's a little chaotic, but it's coming together. You offer your hand, you're like, hey, can I help out? And your friend's like, no, it's okay, I got it. I really got it. You relax, you enjoy. If I need your help, I'll call you. So you decide to grab a book off her bookshelf, and you sit down, you find a room that's quiet, and you hear in the background the noise and the pots clanging and the vacuum going. But you're sitting down on the couch and you're enjoying that you don't have to do anything for Shabbat other than just be there, and you're just getting ready to experience it. You just get to actually enjoy that moment before Shabbat. So you have an hour or two where you're not doing anything. You're just really enjoying that moment of like getting ready for Shabbat to come in. There's nothing for you to do. For me, that's my favorite way to enjoy Shabbat, where everything is done, everything's prepared, and you get to bring it in this like gorgeous, peaceful way. So here's my challenge. Before Shabbat, see if you can bring in Shabbat maybe a few minutes earlier, or have everything really ready, even Thursday night if you can start some preparations. It's impossible, trust me. I have 3 little ones, and it is difficult to get anything done even right before Shabbat candles. But if we do this and we're like, hey, listen, Hashem, I'm going to bring in Shabbat peacefully, because when Mashiach comes, I don't want to be one of those people that's part of the chaos and the insanity and the scariness. And when Mashiach finally comes, I'm just going to collapse and be like, oh my God, finally he's here, everything can be fine. No, I want to be able to not go through that craziness and that scariness before Mashiach. The coming of Mashiach. We always say that we're excited for the coming of Mashiach. I want to be able to be part of that, and I want to enjoy it. I want to see it. I want to be able to dive more spiritually into different things that I never learned before. I want to be able to connect more to you. So by me bringing in Shabbat a little more peacefully, removing some chaos, I am doing this so that when Mashiach comes, I'm not going to be one of those people that's going to be running and scared and horrible things are going to happen to them, God forbid. Hashem, I'm protecting Erev Shabbat. You protect me for Erev Mashiach. Right? How good is that prayer? To be able to ask Hashem for that protection and that serenity bubble of Erev Mashiach. So yeah, if you're scared of atomic bombs and war and all these types of things, if we protect Shabbat that way and we say, Hashem, I'm protecting Shabbat so that you protect me in the times of Mashiach, we can experience it like a guest. We can experience it where we just come in and everything's prepared for us. How great is that? Also, here's another challenge, and I'm going to try doing this too. Our rabbis say that Hashem can bring Mashiach earlier than he's really meant to come. So if Mashiach's meant to come December 7th of 2025, he can actually decide to bring Mashiach in October 21st, 2025. Hashem can move that date. The date of Mashiach is movable depending on the Jewish people and our merits and a lot of other things too. So here's the challenge. If everybody were to light Shabbat candles 30 seconds before Shkia, 30 seconds before it says on the calendar to light, all those 30 seconds we could say, Hashem, this amount that I'm taking in Shabbat early, I want you to add this on to when you're meant to bring in Mashiach and bring him in 30 seconds earlier. And then the next week, maybe you do it 5 minutes earlier. Hashem, I'm giving this 5 minutes to you. I am bringing in Shabbat 5 minutes earlier as an offering, as a korban for you to bring in Mashiach 5 minutes earlier. Now, if we keep doing that, there is a really, really, really strong chance that we can bring in Mashiach a little bit earlier. This is Rebbetzin Ayala Gross. You're more than welcome to challenge me on this. I like this. This makes sense. I would really, really, really love this to be something that I hope to be able to do in my life more. It's challenging. It really is, especially when we think of all the craziness that we have to do. But if you think about it this way, we have 6 days to prepare for Shabbat. You don't have to make the craziest brisket, and you don't have to make your table look insanely amazing every week. Sometimes Shabbat can be paper plates. The idea of Shabbat is rest. Yom Menucha. It does not say it has to be a day of porcelain and cooking for 12 hours. There might be some Shabbats where you can be like, I'm just going to chill and relax in this one in the merit that when Mashiach comes, I can enjoy the sweetness of Shabbat. I can enjoy that calmness. So that's my challenge to you. Find ways that you can bring Shabbat in a little bit more calmly. Hold it in your hands and look at it and say, Hashem, this is my korban. This is my offering that I'm giving to you so that when Mashiach times comes, if it comes in my lifetime or my children's lifetime or my grandkids' lifetime, I'm offering this to you so that time will be a more peaceful time for me, for my family, and you will give us protection the same way I'm protecting Shabbat. So yeah, I hope that works. And let me know if you end up doing it, if it ends up making a change in your life in the way that you bring in Shabbat. I'd be super interested to hear. And thank you for joining along on today's episode. We'll speak to you soon.